This is the tune-in for this week. You have things that you want to accomplish. And if you are like me, you have a pattern of trying to do everything by yourself. Anybody out there like that? I know I have not been able to do that for a long time now, do it all by myself, because the things that I am doing are beyond my capacity to do it alone. So the relationships I have, the people I know, the people I rely on are so important. And when my relationships are going well, it's great, it's helpful, and it's supporting me all the way. And sometimes the relationships are not so supportive. So I want you to think about a goal, something that you are working on, something that you have that's beyond your capacity to do it all by yourself. And to focus on this goal today from the perspective of who is supporting you. Who are you asking for help, guidance, wisdom, assistance, doing things that you can't do yourself? And thinking about the relationships you have and how are those relationships going? Is your communication smooth and effective and efficient with these other individuals, or are there strains or challenges or difficulties? So thinking about you and your goal, and we'll do a little bit of biofield tuning just to have you be grounded in that. So drawing energetic support up from the earth and having it go through your body and out the top of your head. And then bringing energy down from God and the sun and connecting you to the earth. Because my intention for today is to focus on the relationships that are supporting you in the goal, this initial grounding went pretty smoothly. Now, we've got you and your project, your goal, and having energy flowing through. You're being grounded and supported by the earth and by the sun, by the universe and by God. Now, we bring this energy for other people and relationships into the picture. And so thinking about how there's some relationships that are supportive of you and you moving forward with your goal, and there might be other relationships where they aren't supportive. Or there might be relationships where there's not enough communication happening, or you're not sure about speaking up and asking for help. Let's work on that part, okay? Because that's the one that had the charge on it. So it's like when I mentioned the relationships that, yes, that are clear and that are supportive, that energy feels good. When thinking about people who aren't really involved, there really wasn't much there. But thinking about the people that you have who are willing to support you, but they may or may not be doing so much because you haven't asked, or you haven't put a question out, or you haven't requested adjustments in what they are doing. Because sometimes when I am working with people, sometimes they are doing what it is I want, and I don't need more communication. And sometimes they are doing maybe something different, or they aren't doing it as completely as I want, or they're just not getting it done at all, or they aren't prioritizing it. So thinking about that, about, if you have someone who you are working with and they're not prioritizing, doing what you need them to do, and maybe what they've agreed to do, but there's more communication needed. So taking you and your project, your goal, and thinking about a person who you are already interacting with where there's more communication needed. Maybe you haven't asked, or there's something that needs more clarifying. So right now the energy of that is, energy pulling away from you and your project or your goal. And so allowing this other individual to be more connected with you, and there's more communication, there's more energy, there's more energetic connection between you and this other person associated with what you are having them do for you. So I am working on that energetic connection between you and the other person and having there be this smooth flow between the two. So the energy is going in both directions. So you want the communication to be happening clearly from you to them. And you also want them to feel free and able to communicate back to you. So if they need more clarification about what it is you need from them, or if they want to do something and then they want your feedback so that they can improve, or just so that the communication is going smoothly and effectively between the two of you and that you both feel good about this, that this relationship and this interaction, the communication between the two of you is empowering and effective and feels good to both people. So adding that energy in, it just feels really good. And then sometimes there's more information that gets put into this interaction. So, let's use a real example. I have somebody who I am having to do some virtual assisting for me. I'm asking them to do something new, and it's involving ChatGPT and AI and writing some content. Okay, so I do have someone who's helping me with this. And so looking at, okay, so there's this communication that's going and it's effective. But if I want to put more information in, then how do I do that? And how does that go? So it's like thinking about putting more information into this communication with me and my assistant. And when I put more information in, it changes things. It changes the energy. It adds some chaos into the picture. It makes it so the other person has to adjust and shift. And that's good. So when I ask my assistant to do something for me and I change the instructions, then they understandably are going to adjust and shift what they do. And this is a good thing. And this feels really, really positive, right? So that there's communication between me and this other person who I have, who is doing something for me that is getting towards a goal, and that there is communication back and forth. So, I asked my assistant to do something and they gave me some feedback. They needed more information. I gave them more information. And then they did something on their side and then I gave them more information. So there's back and forth. And so that there's effective communication and effective interaction between the two of us so that the project moves forward. This feels really great. And then my assistant is going to do some work. He's going to show it to me and I'm going to say, that looks great. Or I may have some modifications, some suggestions I may offer on how he then will continue to produce this material. I really like working on this interaction, this relationship, and the co-creative nature of it, being able to communicate with this person and then there being a back and forth. So when someone is supporting me in what I'm doing, whether it's an assistant like this person I'm talking with, or a coach, someone who I am going to for help, or my spouse, or a child, it's like being able to effectively communicate what is needed is so valuable. And so to be able to smooth the pathway so that we all get what we want and need. It's like helping my assistant to feel like he's doing a good job. He's providing a service that's actually providing benefit for me and that he feels good about this as well. This includes giving feedback. So when I have feedback from my assistant, this supports him in feeling like he's doing a good job and so that he can do his job better. And when he asks me questions, I need to be able to receive those. And, so that it's, again, co-creates a partnership. Thinking about this is all being a partnership. Excellent. So if you would like support in a goal that you have, something you are creating, and you want healing or facilitation, assistance, advice from me, then let's find time to talk. We can have an Align for Success action plan call that supports you in getting more of what you want. Have a great day. I'm Sandra Lee, energetic initiator and life coach for women entrepreneurs.